A senior Secret Service official tells NBC News that employees received at least 3 emails, including one before the insurrection, instructing them to preserve all records on their electronic devices. That's as clear as it gets. The first came in early December of 2020, according to the source, ahead of a pre-planned data migration that would essentially restore all devices to their factory settings. The next came in January, though the exact date is unclear. Both emails reportedly included reminders that federal employees have a responsibility to preserve their records and included instructions on how to do so. Though neither email mentioned the insurrection, a third email on February 4th reportedly instructed all employees to preserve communications specific to January 6th. By that point, several congressional committees had already requested Secret Service records from that day. But the agency claims the data migration had already taken place by then, and all relevant text messages were erased for good.
So Mika, this is just absolutely outrageous. Michael, still 3 warnings. They received 3 warnings, and yet they still erased all the messages. I mean, man. This was not a mistake. I mean, people saying, "Oh, well, maybe it was a bureaucratic snafu." This was not a bureaucratic snafu. This was an intentional. There's an intentional trashing of historical documents that needed to be saved for a criminal probe that they knew would be coming.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more, Joe, on that point. And the reality of it is, I think we just need to call it what it is, as you just have, that this was something that was done deliberately. They had the warnings. I mean, irrespective of the warnings, you're a significant law enforcement agency within the federal government. You know damn well what the processes and procedures are with respect to the retention of documents. You know there's a federal document retention act that you're subject to, just like every other organ of government. So the fact that they're now hemming and hawing and talking about, oh, well, the process has started and it was underway, and no.
That's nonsense.
That's nonsense. So they've got a lot to account for here. There should be some heads that roll. There is something. I mean, look, what are you trying to hide here? What should we be knowing that that's related to those documents? And now you're telling us, well, they're gone forever. Well, we'll see just how gone they are. But the reality of it is, the Secret Service is in the middle of this right now.
Well, and the real problem here, Jonathan Lemire, is, I mean, there's so many problems here. But Michael Beschloss, presidential historian, I thought really underlined it well last night, because these are law enforcement officers that were a part of, that were in the middle of a planned coup against the United States of America. So they knew that information needed to be protected. And as law enforcement officers, especially around the president of the United States, who was trying to succeed in running a fascist overthrow of an American election, and by extension, the American government itself, they knew they had a higher responsibility. And this is what presidential historian Michael Beschloss said: disappearance of the requested Secret Service records, no matter what explanation, is a disgrace to our country. And this is the point he made that I thought was a bit frightening. Runaway and lawless law enforcement and security agencies have at times historically been a feature of impending dictatorship. Coup d'etat attempts in world history have often gone hand in hand with plots to kidnap, detain, assassinate top leaders who might stand in the way. And what was so chilling is what he's saying is, you know, if you want to pull off a coup, you need some arm of law enforcement with you. And the mere fact, I mean, of course, Trump failed in his fascist attempt to overthrow an American election, American government by extension. But they're members of the law enforcement, and you said this yesterday, who actually were sympathetic to his coup attempt And so I mean, I heard that. I mean, I know you've heard that quietly. A lot of people have been talking about concerns inside the Secret Service about these people being more loyal, some of them to Donald Trump than to the United States, to the United States Constitution, to American democracy. I brushed it off. Every time I see Secret Service members, I thank them for their service to America. But my God, there's a cancer, to borrow a phrase, there's a cancer growing inside the Secret Service, and it needs to be ripped out. And this shows just how dangerous things have gotten inside the Secret Service.